को ऐसे किसी भी विधियों से किसी भी सूरत में डराया नहीं जा सकता। ऐसी हरकतों का जिम्मेदार और इसके जिम्मेदार लोगों को आने वाले कुछ ही समय में जोरदार तरीके से नजर आएगा। मैं देशवासियों को आश्वस्त करना चाहता हूं। साथियों, आज आप लोगों ने जो आयोजन किया है उसमें सबसे पहले मैं मार्शल ऑफ द इंडियन फोर्स अर्जन सिंह जी की स्मृति को नमन करता हूं और उनको अपनी हार्दिक श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित करता हूं। मुझे यह जानकर अच्छा लगा कि आप सभी उनकी स्मृति में यह कार्यक्रम प्रतिवर्ष करते हैं। अपनी बात प्रारंभ करने से पहले मैं भारतीय वायुसेना को उनके अदम्य साहस और पराक्रम के लिए हार्दिक बधाई देता हूं। जिस प्रकार से वायुसेना भारत की सुरक्षा में तत्पर है, उसे देखकर हर भारतवासी अपने को गौरवान्वित महसूस करता है और निश्चिंत रहता है। हमें इस बात का संतोष रहता है कि आपकी छाया में हमारा पूरा देश सुरक्षित है।
Well, like we've been mentioning, we'll try to piece through the Pahalgam carnage through the eyes of the eyewitnesses living through the trauma and telling the tale in respect of those who unfortunately we've lost and have been unable to tell the tale. On your screens next, some reactions of those eyewitnesses as well.
यहाँ पर अटैक हुआ आतंकवादियों का, हम लोग बाल बचे हैं, मगर परमात्मा रक्षा करेगा। बुजुर्गों का आशीर्वाद, भगवान की कृपा से जरूर बचेंगे हम।
I received a call from my family that there was a terrorist attack there at Pahalgam. So I called my sister Pallavi there. She was panic and she was crying that my brother-in-law was shot and she and her son they escaped somehow and some localites helped her to get through to go to city hospital at Pahalgam. So after that I contacted there my regional office, bank's regional office there at Srinagar and got information from Pahalgam branch, SBI branch manager. So he also visited that hospital and he assured that my sister and her son are okay. They didn't had any injuries, but they were under shock. And meanwhile, my brother-in-law's status was not known, and he had to be airlifted because of his injuries. Later, after half an hour, I got the news, shocking news.
All right, then let's continue to break down some of those eyewitness accounts as well. My colleague Aditya Rajkaul, Executive Editor, Strategic Affairs, joins us here in the studio. Aditya, survivors say that they were asked to come out of their pitched tents, prove their faith. Some pants were being stripped down as well, asking for faith to recite the Quranic verses. The kalma is what eyewitness accounts across various newspapers are telling us today. What does these chilling details, do they help us understand the intent, the modus operandi of these terrorists?
We only know the fraction of what happened. You know, the eyewitnesses or the victim families can only narrate, a bit of what they actually saw. That horror in their eyes or what they saw will remain, unfortunately, forever. They've lost their loved ones, that's one thing. But to experience such a massacre, to experience such a carnage in front of your eyes in broad daylight, especially when you came to a tourist spot that is known for peace, that is known for not having such terror attacks or crimes, you are scarred for life in many ways. So, Kabir, we have spoken to a lot of eyewitnesses, we have spoken to a lot of police personnel. army men, intelligence agencies, and piece together and try to reconstruct what really happened there. There were at least 4 to 6 terrorists that came from 3 different directions. They completely surrounded these terrorists and immediately checked their IDs. They segregated men and women, and then they tried to check their identification, mainly the religion. And finally, in the most brutal manner, did headshots. And that means, I've seen many videos that we cannot even put out on the screen, where dead bodies are lying all across with headshot wounds only. And that means this was pure execution style killing that has taken place. 26 innocent tourists killed. Now we know one of them was an Indian Air Force officer, and one was an IB, Intelligence Bureau officer as well. And apart from that, the female members, family members that were present there were spared, and that was for a reason. The terrorist told the female member, the Pakistani terrorist told the female members that we are sparing you because you should be alive to tell your Prime Minister Modi what we did here, and this is a message for the Prime Minister. And that's chilling. You know, that is the kind of terror attack that has taken place. But this is a direct attack, not just on India, not just on the Indian sovereignty, Indian conscience, but this is an attack on India's Prime Minister also. And that's why the Prime Minister, the government, and the people of India are taking this very personally. On one hand, emotionally we stand with the family, victim families, and we'll do whatever possible for justice. But these killings need to be avenged. And that's why the government will have a multi-pronged approach, diplomatic, economic, and kinetic military operations that will follow after the CCS meeting that takes place today or tomorrow.
Absolutely. All eyes on that CCS meeting. Prime Minister Modi is going to be chairing that crucial meeting as well. Captain Akhilesh Saxena, defense expert, also joins us on the broadcast here. Captain, we're trying to understand peace through the Pahalgam carnage, through the eyes and the accounts of the eyewitnesses. Multiple accounts mention the men wearing army fatigues coming down from the forest. And of course, they thought that there was a security drill that was happening nearby. Couldn't distinguish between the firing coming from the terrorists' guns and the security forces practicing at a range nearby. Does this point towards desensitization or lack of awareness? Because this is one aspect of the eyewitnesses' account that we need to delve a little deeper into as well.
In fact, first of all, I'm very, very sad. And, I was just looking some of the relative when you were talking, and I think, it could have been any one of us. So we are obviously standing with them. Entire nation is standing with them. It's not about who died in this, but the attack is direct attack on the unity, on the honor of the entire country, right? So everyone has to take it personally. And if I think somebody who is not taking it personally is not a true Indian. If in this kind of situation, when somebody just came inside our country and killed innocent civilian after asking their name, if this is not the limit, then when will the limit come, right? So we have been a country which talked about peace, we talked about Aman Ki Asha, and this we are doing it not today but for last 50 years. Kargil happened, we still, Prime Minister Vajpayee gone to the Lahore, that still we want to keep Aman Ki Asha, and what happened? Pakistan intruded into the Kargil that time, right? So now the time has come when we will have to say enough is enough, and there is not only the diplomatic action, but decisively firm military action has to be started. First, we have to cut all the diplomatic relation with Pakistan. We cannot be playing cricket with a nation which is killing our innocent Indian. We cannot be going and dancing there and calling their actors in our country if they are killing our innocent civilians. It's not attack only on those 26, it's attack on entire Kashmir and every Indian personally. And we have to take it personally and ensure that now government, opposition party, everyone comes.
You're absolutely right, Captain.
Yes.
You're absolutely right. The entire nation's head hangs in mourning. The entire mood of the nation is in mourning, if I could put it that way. Major General Gigi Dwivedi, defense and strategy expert, also with us on the broadcast. A very warm welcome to you, Major. Aditya, we also need to take a look at Pakistan now going into a state of high alert, and Captain and General do pay heed as well. Sources have confirmed that the Pakistani Army and Air Force have been put on full operational alert. All forward air bases along the line of control are now on standby. In a sudden and suspicious move, patrolling parties, usually active along the LOC, have been ordered to return to their bases. What's more telling here, Aditya? Help us understand, because we don't have people-to-people ties, we don't have diplomatic connections. The only level is, military in nature, and the nuclear deterrence is clearly overstated. What's more telling over here? Pakistan going into that all-alert mode.
Well, Pakistan is quite expected to be on alert mode because they would be expecting a military strike or some kind of an attack, and that's likely to happen. We do not know when, we do not know how. It took a few days after the at least I would say a couple of weeks, and then only the Balakot had happened. But this time around, Pakistan would be even better prepared because it would have imagined the kind of attacks that could happen from the Indian Air Force, from the Indian military, or from the Navy side as well. So Pakistan overall would be expecting a strike right now, but they would be in an alert mode. But I could share this much with you that already there are reports of shelling in some of the border areas. We are not putting out the details because this is not officially confirmed yet from either side. We are also hearing heavy casualties on the Pakistan Army side. There is a particular place called Tattapani sector on the Pakistani side where there are reports of heavy shelling. We are also hearing that in August 2019, after the abrogation of 370, this is the very sector, Tattapani, where there were a lot of casualties on the Pakistani side. There was clashes. In August 2020, again, there were clashes. And again, last night, there are clashes that have been reported. And this is basis the locals in Tattapani that we are putting this out. No official confirmation right now, either from India's DGMO, India's military, or from the Pakistani side. So, yes, Pakistan would have contemplated Kabir in many ways. And the sea route through Karachi, the air route through different areas in Jammu Kashmir, Punjab and Rajasthan, and of course the military strike in different places, and would have calculated their placement of the military and other strategic assets similarly. But India, I would say, would move in a very step-by-step manner. Nothing would be done in haste. I would believe, in my understanding covering different terror attacks, that India's response will not be measured, but India's response will be tactical. One, India will do some steps in the form of diplomatic and economic ties. Maybe breaking diplomatic ties with Pakistan is also being considered. Suspending the Indus Water Treaty is also being considered. Also sending a message through completely halting the trade that also happens through third countries, including textile, garments, pharmaceuticals and agriculture. That could be stopped completely. We already brought them down from the most favored nation in trade. So apart from diplomatic and economic activities and steps that India will take, and it will in the next 24 to 48 hours, it will also consider military options and could also consider multiple military options to surprise Pakistan in due course.
Needless to say, New Delhi is weighing its own options, and we can also clearly say Pakistan aren't going to know what exactly hit them. I wanted to bring in, General Dwivedi in on this. General Dwivedi, we're talking about Pakistan going into that all-alert mode, and what's more telling is that Pakistan's 10 Corps, which holds command over the entire illegally occupied POK region, has ramped up military presence near the border as well. Heavy artillery movement has been detected at forward locations, is what we're picking up through our sources. Troop buildup is underway, a move being closely monitored by the Indian intelligence. Remember, again, the viewers as well, the 10 Corps is Pakistan's primary strike formation along this sensitive frontier. Any increase in activity here is seen as a signal of escalation. General Dwivedi, over to you.
Oh, well, I can share my personal perceptions because most of my command tenures were opposite the Pakistan 10 Corps. So I can actually relate to the ground situation and also try to interpolate what exactly is going to happen. The thing is, first and foremost, I think this attack has actually hurt the soul of India. And therefore, Pakistan knows that the response now will be overwhelming. Now, India has options because, we always have contingencies, and those contingencies can be played out. It can be the options on the LOC, it can be options on target beyond, it can be through the air, it can be through the drones. Also, there's gray zone warfare. You can do a lot of things around. So there are multiple options. I am sure the leadership of the day will accept the option. But what will be the Pakistan reaction? Because Pakistan knows what had happened earlier. So they would be preparing something, what Balakot happened, what Uri happened. And Tenko, of course, will be on the alert. But let me tell you two very important military history examples, because I am a military historian, teach management and military history. See, in 1965, when Pakistan launched Operation Gibraltar, they thought that our reaction will be only in J&K. But India reacted far beyond. We opened up the Lahore front. And even in 71, the war I fought as a second lieutenant in Bangladesh, the Pakistan thought that our war will be limited to East, but we opened up the Western front. So point I'm trying to make is that India's options are far and wide, and India will take time to access the option. But two things are very important. That it's not the tit for tat response. That is not going to help us out. It has to be overwhelming response, calibrated. But Pakistan must shake up. Their leadership, both political and military leadership, must be hit by a tsunami. And that's the kind of response that is required. And secondly, I have written a lot on this issue, that we need to take this Pakistan proxy war in entirety. It's not just one action here, one action there. No, we need to take this whole war in entirety. And that means the kinetic action, military actions, non-kinetic action, what we need to do at the political level, at the international level. We need to isolate Pakistan as a terrorist state. We need to bring a lot of economic pressure, and whole global polity is with us. They have supported us. And more importantly, we also need to give very clear message to the Pakistan leadership that now this game is not going to end with one response. We are going to fight it out. We are going to ensure that this proxy war, which is being perpetrated by Pakistan, comes to an end. That means we have to hit the sources. Where are the terrorist bases? Where are they coming from? Who are the handlers? I think the whole package has to be seen in entirety. And in summation, what I would say, that India's response will be overwhelming. It will be holistic. And we need to fight this proxy war as a nation as a whole. It has to be a whole nation approach. Every element of our power must be brought to bear, because it's time now.
The response,
to end this proxy war.
we hear you, General. The response is going to be overwhelming. It's going to be holistic. It better be. That's the need of the hour. We need it to be as holistic and overwhelming as it can get. But you pointed out that it's not going to be a tit for tat. We're constantly assessing what kind of options New Delhi is weighing at the moment. Ambassador Prabhu Dayal also with us on the broadcast here. Very warm welcome to you. We're going to slip into a quick commercial breather here, ladies and gentlemen. But right on the other side, there's a lot more that we need to decode from the eyewitnesses' accounts as well. And like Aditya here in the studio was mentioning, we need to talk about all the options that New Delhi is assessing to counter this on the diplomatic front as well, and on ground on the border front as well. Don't go anywhere.
I need expert performance. I need my career.
Smash your way to glory at the News9 Corporate Badminton Championship. Get ready for the ultimate badminton showdown. News9 presents the biggest corporate championship, a battle of skill, speed and supremacy. Cash prize of 6 lakh rupees across categories. Venue, Pulela Gopichand Badminton Academy, Hyderabad. Dates, May 9th to May 11th. A chance to showcase your talent and make a mark. The court is set. Are you ready? Register now.
Presenting sponsor, Srinidhi University. Kindle the light within. Venue partner, Pulela Gopichand Badminton Academy, Hyderabad.
Bharat welcomes the world to a new era of creativity. Waves, World Audio Visual and Entertainment Summit. Connecting creators through Creative Sphere. Wave Accelerator. Waves Bazaar.
Where stories, ideas and content go global.
Connecting countries through global media dialogue and Bharat Pavilion.
Shaping narratives and partnerships. Culture, cinema, gaming. Waves fuels the next wave of entertainment.
Connecting creators, connecting countries. Waves 2025.
Well, it was meant to be a quiet retreat, a family vacation, a much-awaited break under the blue skies of the Baisaran Valley. Mini Switzerland is what they call it. People had pitched tents, some laughing, some eating food, taking in the majesty of the meadows, and then gunfire shattering it all. And what followed next was not just a terror attack, it was cold-blooded carnage. And that carnage in Pahalgam is something that we're trying to piece together through, unfortunately, eyewitness accounts. The visual on your screens seems to be speaking more loudly and more boldly. A wife of a now slain naval officer trying to console herself, unable to help but break down over the mortal remains of this brave heart. With me on the broadcast, Captain Akhilesh Saxena, defense expert. We also have with us Major General G.G. Dwivedi, defense and strategy expert, and Ambassador Prabhu Dayal, former Indian diplomat, with us. Ambassador, I did want to come to you to really understand what kind of options New Delhi might be assessing right now. But before that, let me play out a quick ground report. A report filed minutes after the attack, after the ambulances were pushed into action as well. My colleague Mehraj goes in to one of those clinics, those emergency rooms, to speak to these people. Take a listen.
किस तरीके से जब आपने गोलियों की अपना शोर सुना तो कितना डर गए आप?
बहुत डर गया, बहुत डर गया। पहला फायरिंग, दूसरा, तीसरा, वैसे तो बहुत फायरिंग हो गया। जब एकदम भाग करेगा।
तो फिर आपने क्या किया? आप भाग पड़े। आपके साथ कितने और फैमिली मेंबर्स थे?
मेरे पास ऑपरेशन बीच मानस था हमें, हम सब जुदा पड़ गया। नौका हम भाग्य थे कि અને ત્યાં बहुत मानस होता, कोई धक्का पक्की में गड़ी गया, कोई पड़ गया।
आपको जो लगी, आपको कैसे लगी?
ऐसे खाई पाए थे, दौड़वा के न चढ़ी गया।
आपको धक्का किसी वजह से लगा?
हाँ, धक्का वजह से।
Well, Aditya Rajkaul, Executive Editor, Strategic Affairs, with me here in the studio. Aditya, before we go across to our esteemed panelists, what's the latest that you can help the viewers with? Defense Minister of the country, he said that there's a zero tolerance policy against terrorism.
Absolutely. This is the first major reaction that's coming in on video against Pakistan and condemning the Pahalgam terror attack. We have obviously seen condemnation from Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah as well. Obviously also the External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar. But first video statement that's come in from India's Defense Minister, and I quote him, he says, यहाँ मैं भारत के दृढ़ संकल्प को दोहराना चाहूँगा कि टेररिज्म के खिलाफ हमारी जीरो टॉलरेंस पॉलिसी है। भारत का एक एक नागरिक इस कायरतापूर्वक हरकत के खिलाफ एकजुट है। मैं इस मंच से देशवासियों को आश्वस्त कराना चाहता हूं कि घटना के मद्देनजर भारत सरकार हर वो कदम उठाएगी जो जरूरी होगा और उपयुक्त होगा। और हम सिर्फ उन्हीं लोगों तक नहीं पहुंचेंगे जिन्होंने इस घटना को अंजाम दिया है, हम उन सब लोगों तक पहुंचेंगे जिन्होंने पर्दे के पीछे बैठकर हिंदुस्तान के सरजमी पर ऐसा नापाक हरकतों को साजिश रची है। दैट मीन्स कबीर, this is a direct message to Pakistan Army and the Pakistan deep state that we will not go after those 4 or 6 or 7 terrorists who conducted the conspiracy and conducted this attack in Pahalgam, the dastardly, cowardly act. But we will go after all those masterminds who would be sitting across the border. So a very strong message coming in from Defense Minister Rajnath Singh, clearly indicating what the next course of action would be. And this is perhaps messaging that's happening right now on what would be visible in the next many hours and days.
Well, Ambassador, I'm going to quickly come to you next. General Dwivedi was telling us that it shouldn't be a tit for tat. That's not going to help anybody. But the response has to be holistic. It has to be wholesome. It has to be thought out as well. What, according to you, are some of the salient responses that New Delhi is absolutely mulling at the moment?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on your show. When it comes to response to India, weighs the pros and cons of a surgical strike, it will carry it out. But that is for government to decide. And certainly the armed forces and their assessment will be very important in making such a decision. But there are a whole lot of other options which are available. And we have to pursue them slowly and steadily. Let me tell you that Pakistan is facing a lot of internal dissension. There are groups like the Balochistan Liberation Front and the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, which are waging conflict against the deep state of Pakistan. They feel that Pakistan has oppressed them and they want to break away. Now, of course, the might of the Pakistan government, the might of Pakistan army is greater than that of these militant forces. So I think we should strengthen them. We should assist them in every manner possible. I say this with absolute certainty that your enemy's enemy is your friend. And if we can assist the Balochistan Liberation Front and the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan and other such forces which are trying to fight against the Pakistani establishment, we should do so. Whether we do so by giving assistance in terms of money or we find for them to get weapons, we have to assist them because they are fighting our enemy and they will weaken that enemy. I know that a lot of people feel that, it's not going to be possible to break up Pakistan. But a whole lot of other nations are broken up. When the internal factors are strong, it becomes very difficult for a government to continue fighting them and hold them at bay. So as I said earlier, we have to assist these forces which are fighting the government of Pakistan and fighting the oppression which is waged against them by Pakistan. Now let me also say that we have to pursue the diplomatic position in terms of getting more countries to realize that Pakistan needs to be ostracized. Pakistan has continued to be very double-faced. On the one hand, it has been a terrorist state when it comes to us, and on the other hand, it tries to present a totally different picture when it deals with a lot of Western countries. We have to sensitize them to the reality of Pakistan. There is a huge diplomatic effort. We were successful in getting Pakistan on the grey list of the Financial Action Task Force, but because the United States needed Pakistan for the sort of policy that it was following in Afghanistan, it let Pakistan off the hook. We must get the maximum amount of pressure on Pakistan.
That's a pertinent point.
Effort. But at the same time, as I said earlier, we must strengthen the forces which are waging war against Pakistan, and we must weaken Pakistan, if possible, also break it up.
No, that's a pertinent point that you've raised over there. Ostracization on the global level, that is something that India now needs to push forth for. Just a couple of days back, Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson Ranveer Jaiswal, he had made it quite categorically clear that the entire world knows that Pakistan is the epicenter of state-sponsored terrorism. There is no two ways about that. And you were just mentioning that the enemy of my enemy is a friend, has to be looked at as a friend. Taliban now coming in and condemning the attack, the terror attack in Pahalgam. Aditya, can you help with the salient points on that front?
Well, yes, Taliban has condemned the attack. I have the statement from the spokesperson of the Taliban government in Afghanistan. It reads, and I quote, "The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan categorically condemns the recent attack on tourists in the Pahalgam region of Jammu and Kashmir and expresses our condolences to the bereaved families. Such incidents undermine efforts to ensure regional security and stability." Now, there is a hidden message against Pakistan also in this statement. Without naming Pakistan, Afghanistan has said that Pakistan's activities in the region, be it against India or against Afghanistan, are against and are detrimental to the regional stability and security. So we've seen over the last 3 to 4 years, ever since Taliban took over in Afghanistan, Kabir, that Afghanistan-Pakistan relations have also not been in the best. Be it the border situation, be it the Afghan refugees who have also been thrown by Pakistan into Afghanistan.
Quite literally.
And of course, the clashes that are reported on the border, or the political statements that have come out both from Pakistan as well as from Afghanistan. For a very long time, Pakistan believed that the Taliban would work as their team B in Afghanistan, but that clearly did not happen. Afghanistan, Taliban has its own land, has its own dreams, has its own sovereignty. It's not going to work at the behest of the Pakistan ISI or the army. So yes, there's more coordination between India and Afghanistan, and this statement in itself, does say a lot, without naming Pakistan.
All right, General Dwivedi, we're going to play out the reaction, the soundbite of the Defense Minister. We need your reactions, your insights on that particular note. This is the first reaction coming from the Defense Minister on video on your screens next.
हमारे देश ने अनेक निर्दोष नागरिकों को खोया है। इस घोर अमानवीय कृत्य से हम सभी गहरे शोक और दर्द में हैं। सबसे पहले मैं उन सभी परिवारों के प्रति अपनी गहरी संवेदना व्यक्त करता हूं जिन्होंने अपने प्रियजनों को खोया है। इस दुखद समय में दिवंगत आत्माओं की शांति के लिए मैं परमात्मा से प्रार्थना करता हूं। यहां मैं भारत के दृढ़ संकल्प को दोहराना चाहूंगा कि टेररिज्म के खिलाफ हमारी जीरो टॉलरेंस की पॉलिसी है। भारत का एक एक नागरिक इस कायरतापूर्ण हरकत के खिलाफ एकजुट है। मैं इस मंच से देशवासियों को आश्वस्त करता हूं, घटना के मद्देनजर भारत सरकार वो हर कदम उठाएगी जो जरूरी और उपयुक्त। और हम सिर्फ उन लोगों तक नहीं पहुंचेंगे जिन्होंने इस घटना को अंजाम दिया है, हम उन तक भी पहुंचेंगे जिन्होंने पर्दे के पीछे बैठकर हिंदुस्तान की सरजमी पर ऐसी नापाक हरकतों की साजिशें रची हैं। भारत एक इतनी पुरानी सभ्यता और इतना बड़ा देश है जिसको ऐसे किसी भी आतंकी गतिविधियों से किसी भी सूरत में डराया नहीं जा सकता। ऐसी हरकतों का जिम्मेदार और इसके जिम्मेदार लोगों को आने वाले कुछ ही समय में जोरदार तरीके से नजर आएगा। मैं देशवासियों को आश्वस्त करना चाहता हूं।
Well, General Dwivedi, the Defense Minister quite categorically says no one will be spared.
Absolutely. I think Defense Minister's statement is quite well worded, and it has a lot of depth in what he conveyed. Of course, we all are grieved, and he has expressed condolences, shared the grief. But more importantly, he has also made a very important statement that not only those 4 and 5 terrorists will be actually given the right punishment or the right treatment, but more importantly, the people who are behind the scene, people like Saifullah, people, the handlers, Pakistan Army, and more importantly, Pakistan Chief, because only last week he made very provocative statements when he was addressing the Pakistan diaspora that Kashmir is the jugular vein of Pakistan. The Hindus and Muslims are very different people. And he went on to say even the term that jihad will be on. So I think that the message has gone right and clear that people who are on the crosshairs today, people who are on a, I would say the aiming site, are not only the terrorists, they are expendable, let me tell you. There 5 will be killed, another 5 will come. That's not actually the real target. The real target are the people who are behind the scene. That means across the LOC, the handlers, the perpetrators, the group leaders, the Pakistan Army. I think all those people now need to actually start sweating, and they will be hit so hard. I think our Defense Minister has stated in very few words, but a very important message, that this time the reaction will not be just retaliatory. The reaction will just not be tit for tat. The reaction will be overwhelming. And the people who are behind the scene will be the one who will face the heat and they will now be the ones who will be punished. But one more point I wish to reinforce what Ambassador has said, that today is the era of grey zone warfare. We must ensure that all the forces which are vying for independence in Pakistan must be given full, unequal support. And that's where the actual difference will be made. So I think Defense Minister has made a very categorical statement, and I am sure it will be put into action right in entirety. And very soon Pakistan will be paying the price. And I once again say, this proxy war of orchestrated with Pakistan must be ended on a right conclusion. Imagine if 26 Americans had been killed like this, what would have been the reaction of America? F-35 would have come in, Tomahawk would have blasted that area. So let not Pakistan underestimate us. I think time has come to show Pakistan what India is all about.
Pakistan is clearly not underestimating us. They've already gone on high alert on the border fronts. At least that's what the sources are telling us at this point in time. You know, there's a lot of internal politics at home that's also brewing. This has happened and the timing has to be, looked at as well. J.D. Vance was here. The Prime Minister was in Saudi Arabia. The anti-Waqf protest is something that's taking shape in the country. But the opposition and the centre have come together, collectively condemned this entire episode. You know, Ambassador, wanted to know about Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah now saying that this is the intelligence failure of the central government. The central government is responsible for the terror attack in Pahalgam in Jammu and Kashmir. I mean, at a time when the entire nation has to come together, we're talking about, politicizing this terror attack as well. We're going to pick your brains right on the other side of this quick commercial breather here. Please don't go anywhere. Ambassador Dayal with us, General Dwivedi and Aditya with me here in the studio.
Coffee?
आइडिया कूल। ये एयर कंडीशनर नहीं, AI कंडीशनर है।
News9 Corporate Badminton Championships in collaboration with Pullela Gopichand Badminton Foundation is here for all of you to experience the passion and network. This is a great opportunity to experience your childhood memories and also be part of a corporate event which enhances sportsman spirit in all of us. Wishing you all the best and hope to see you here.
Presenting sponsor, Srinidhi University, Kindle the Light Within. Venue partner, Pullela Gopichand Badminton Academy, Hyderabad.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Aditya Rajkol, Executive Editor, Strategic Affairs, with me here in the studio. Aditya, help the viewers quickly understand what, in terms of administrative meetings, one can look at. We know that the high-level meeting to be chaired by Prime Minister Modi is going to take place. Amit Shah is already back in the national capital after taking stock of the situation on the ground at that Meadow terror site in Pahalgam as well.
Well, we need to understand what's happened in the last 24 to 30 hours. Ever since this attack happened, the Prime Minister cut short his visit and came back to New Delhi early this morning. Immediately after landing at the airport, he had a meeting with NSA Ajit Doval, External Affairs Minister, Jaishankar, and key officials of the PMO briefed him on whatever developments had happened till that time. Apart from that, already since last night, Home Minister Amit Shah was there on ground in Srinagar, and he was holding a top-level security briefing from key stakeholders across J&K Police, Indian Army, CRPF and other intelligence agencies. These meetings went on past midnight. Not just a collective meeting, he separately also met chiefs of J&K Police, CRPF, Indian Army and intelligence agencies as well. So these meetings have happened. Today, Amit Shah was at the spot in Baisaran. He took a chopper and visited the spot. He also met the civilians who were injured. Apart from that, he met the families of the victims who have been killed in this attack. And today, most likely, we are expecting a cabinet committee on security meeting to take place where key members of the government, including Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh, Home Minister Amit Shah, and of course, External Affairs Minister Jaishankar would be a part of. Prime Minister would be chairing this. NSA Ajit Doval would be there as well. And key points would be discussed. What would be India's diplomatic, economic and military kinetic operational response to Pakistan? Because there is no ambiguity. It's clear from the moment this terror attack took place that this is not Lashkar-e-Toiba, this is not Jaish-e-Mohammed, this is not TRF, but the real perpetrator of this terror attack is the Pakistan Army and the ISI, and Asim Munir is the person who has ordered this ever since the speech that he gave perhaps 10 days or so ago. So we are awaiting that CCS to happen, and you could expect over the next few days several key actions by the government of India to not just expose and nail Pakistan, but to hit them hard so that they do not continue on this path of jihad against India.
Well, you know what, Ambassador? Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah said, and we're completely running out of time, but I do need a 30-second response on this. He said that this is the central government's intelligence failure. How do you look at this when national unity is something that we're talking about? We're constantly playing those visuals of the naval officer's wife completely breaking down. You can't possibly put these visuals, into words. Last 30 seconds, what's your take on Siddaramaiah's statement?
I think the need of the hour is for the country to stand together. I don't think any divisive tendencies should be encouraged at all. And in this context, the remarks of the Karnataka Chief Minister are highly objectionable. I think the fact of the matter is that there are some sleeper cells of the Pakistan ISI. And Aditya Raj was absolutely correct in saying that the biggest terror force operating in Pakistan is the Pakistani army. That is the biggest terrorist outfit. And I served in Pakistan in the early 80s, and I found how the army bred these terrorist outfits to act on its behalf. Outfits like Lashkar-e-Taiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed, and so many others. They were encouraged, they were developed by the Pakistan army. So, in other words, as a nation, we have to stand together, and I regret the sort of statement which has come from
Absolutely true. I mean, just like Aditya put it out, there's no ambiguity. On that note, General Dwivedi, Ambassador Dayal and Aditya, many thanks for joining us here on the broadcast. They came looking for peace and met terror instead. Families shattered, lives stolen, and the question that still echoes through the valley. As the sun sets over Baisaran's meadows, the blood on the grass still hasn't dried, and nor has the grief. The Pahalgam carnage isn't just a headline, it's a wound on the soul of this nation. We will keep asking and keep telling their stories.
I need expert performance. I need my